Okay, people. We are here for what, round 3 of Aero League Racing. I need tier 2, that's the thumbnail. Apologies. Apologies, I was just replying to a message. Yeah, round 3. I am going to get the stand-ins up for you guys, and I'm just going to share the link so everyone in the tier has access. I think we should be waiting on, well, we got potentially one more, but he might be a little bit late. But apart from that, yeah, this is where we're at. I am gonna ask. Sorry, I completely lost my. Well, I was thinking, why is Massacrator on spectator? No idea why. And I need to get the live stream chat up. Evening, let's see how many laps were now. I've asked AJ if he can go kick, just because I feel like it makes more sense to have the reserves in the same team rather than having him in a car with like the championship leader, which is what he would be. Which, yeah, seems a little bit weird. We've got 18, right? I think there's one Alpine missing. Should you not rather take part and do comms? Someone's got to do comms, Fitzy. Why no tier 1? I think the tier 1 commentator is on his way home, and I think he's going to be a bit late. So hopefully he'll be there for the race, but I think he's going to miss qualifying. This Alpine seat is a free full-time seat now. I feel like it makes sense for someone to have it. Obviously TRZ was the one who was probably going to get it, but looks like he's not paying attention. Anyway, we've got 15 people. Why is my stream keep like falling so far behind? I'm just trying to like keep up and watch it. Predictions for El Truco. King Hover 0172. That's a name that I ain't seen in ages. Well, you know that whoever I predict P2 gets jinxed. I'm pretty sure that's what we've discovered. I'm going to bring up Discord on my phone. It'll be interesting to see if TRZ can make it today. If not, then we'll see. Nicholas has said he wants it. Okay. Please jinx me. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have anyone added on my friends list, so I don't know, like what we're saying in terms of qualifying pace. But so I will make a proper prediction after qualifying. How's the sound, by the way? Just want to make sure it's all good in terms of the volume, like car volume compared to mine. To me, I think I've got it on like 4. I think it should be on. I think that's what we found out was the best. Where's audio settings? There. Yeah, it's on 4. Give that a go and see how it is. I mean, once I'm like on board with a car mic, obviously you're going to hear me perfectly fine now. In terms of tier 2, we're saying mid 32s for pole prediction. Obviously I don't know, but Massacrator is my prediction for pole. I think that's going to be the one. The Ferrari's out nice and early, and there's like an Alpine, someone around there maybe. I can tell you for sure who won't be on pole today, and that is Mighty Chump, serving a qualifying ban because he was just sleeping on the racing line basically. So he's got a qualifying ban for that. Stewards weren't taking any prisoners. Obviously it is in the rule book. There is a rule which was just like flat implemented, so it was a pretty simple one for them to deal with. What should we go with? We got tyres. For some reason Lucky's on mediums, and I want to have that so I can see a little bit about what's going on. So we are on board with Massacre. Something tells me I really need to like adjust this leaderboard, because for me it just feels like it's taking up a little bit too much room. I don't know if that's just me, but I want gap to leader. Yeah, it just feels like that leaderboard on the left is like it's encroaching on. Not even sleeping, his dog yanked his controller. You've reported someone who's, even though his dog yanked out his controller. Forget stewards taking no prisoners. I mean, obviously they didn't know about that, the stewards, when they were making the decision, but Mike taking no prisoners. But yeah, my prediction for pole will be Massacrator. Do you know who I've got a good feeling about Nicholas today, and I got a good feeling about Naked Champ and Hallinan. I feel like these guys are going to do well, but obviously I'll make my predictions for the race after qualifying, so I have a little bit of information to go off. Anyway, we're going to go on board with Massacrator. He's had a very poor start to the season in terms of results. He's really showed pace, but for whatever reason he's just bottled the race. Yeah, very, very... I've completely forgot that, like, it really bogged down, like, third gear on this game sometimes. I was just so confused about what's happened there from Massacrator. But yeah, P8 is his best result so far this season, which is absolutely mental. Really smooth through Sector 1, though. I know he's meant to be going really well at USA. Where are the sector points? I was trying to pay attention to where the sector time is. It's at the end of this straight, and we got left hand, and that's where sector 3 starts. So pay attention to his sector 2 time, because when we go on board with people in the final sector, that will be one of the first things we see. And we actually do have Font right behind him. Not sure if I can see back. Font just back there, and he'll be able to go on board with and watch the end of Font's race. In terms of the standings, though, we've got Ferrari are leading both the drivers and constructors right now, but I'm sure McLaren will be trying to make inroads in them today. Yeah, Font leading the standings by 15 points. His nearest rival, Luke Boost, is not available yet again. He's missed 2 races, Luke. Won every single race that he has attended, though. Anyway, Massacrator is coming towards the end of his lap. He's used all his deployment already. Hasn't saved any for this final bit of the lap. Really nice final corner there, very smooth. And it's a 34 dead. I think it was mid 32s that, or was it mid-34s? I don't know, that they were predicting. We're on board with Hallinan now, who's actually up on Fontanu. Only 1/10 separated these two already, like, they just can't be separated. Font and Massacrator. Yeah, mid-32s, high 32s, wow. Really overestimating. I'm just gonna let them know. Yeah. Alright, sorry. We've got some times starting to come in. Massacrator, Font, Hallinan, Igor really, really struggled in Tier 1. He was completely off the pace every single week. And he's been dropped down to Tier 2 now. P4. Christ, P5. Black Charizard, P6. Nicholas, P7. Chris P6, sorry, Black Charizard P7, El Truco's P9, Fitz's P10. Let's go on board with Tichy. He's on his lap 25.8 first sector. Tell you what, does that not invalidation? That looks really close there to invalidating, but evidently he didn't. Eagle was the Michael T1, yeah, Eagle was the he finished both the first two races, like, over a lap down. Like there's a big gap between Tier 1 and Tier 2 this year, and yeah, he was like 90 seconds off last place, so we thought, you know what, we'll give him a go in Tier 2, see how he goes, just because it's only fair, like, to give him the chance, isn't it? Like, he was a lot further off compared to everyone else. Fitz has just improved on his qualifying lap. It looks like there's a Haas probably coming to the pits there. Looks like a very smooth lap from Tichy. I really didn't pay attention to what his sector time it was, but we're looking for like a high 102 at the sector split for sector 2 into sector 3. I don't know, I think we might just see 2 runs here in qualifying. It looks like it's going to be somewhere in the midfield here for Tichy Boom, down in P11. Let's go on board with Naked Champ. I think he's invalidated. Lucky Champ is probably he's on mediums. I don't really know why he's on mediums. I think there was someone last week who chose to go out on mediums instead of softs. I don't know if that's just like a thing for bankers, but yeah. I'm just a bit confused by it, to be honest. Like, I don't really have words. I mean, Aston Martin as a team, they're one that I'm really expecting to come good at some point throughout this season. I think even with their, like, what, 20-point deficit to Ferrari, I think they could challenge. I've been really impressed by both of those guys. Anyway, Lucky, coming towards starting his lap. The guy in front is going into the pits. I was going to say, you might want to leave a little bit more room there to the cars ahead. El Truco saying that he's really struggling for 1 lap pace on this game. Not your best, is it, El Truco, down in P12? Anyway, on board with Lucky. For some reason, on mediums. If anyone has any idea why, I would love to know, because it just feels like it's the wrong choice. Like, you're just trying to set your 1 fast lap, aren't you? But he's on mediums. It's a really nice job in sector 1 though. He's proven us all wrong. Taking that corner, that final corner in 6th gear rather than 7th like Massacrator did. He does set a purple first sector though, despite being on the harder compounds. Really, really nice smooth run from Lucky. Down to 2nd gear for this corner. Hits the apex really nice. He gets oversteer on exit. That's going to cost him all the way down this straight. We're probably looking for like a mid 102 at the sector 2 point. That's probably what he wants to try and get, but let's see. Break in around 150 meter board. 2nd gear, taking the corner really nicely. It's a 103.1, so you can see he's actually lost a bit of time there. It does say purple, but pretty sure we saw Arctic was, or Hallinan, sorry, was up on that time after 2 sectors, so I'm not sure what that's about or what's going on there. But I think we might be seeing someone sneak into the top 5 here. There's a little bit of daylight between Igor and Dark Kiki in that gap. Smooth exit, and he comes across the line for a 134.1. So yet another guy in those low 134s. Can't quite get ahead of his teammate though. Nicholas Volkmann, 0.1 seconds up on his time. I mean, that's a very good Sector 1. So I'm not sure. King Hover is El Truco, Mike, down in P13. But yeah, it's a very, very good first sector from Nicholas. So I'm not sure what happened on his lap. He's only 1/10 up on his time. And he was 2 seconds down. So I'm not sure if he had a little bit of oversteer somewhere, or if he's just really struggling in Sector 3. But he's used up all his battery again. This is one thing I notice a lot from this tier, is the battery management just isn't there compared to what I expect. Yeah, you see, quite a bit slower in Sector 2 because he hasn't saved his ERS, and he's just not had his battery all the way down the straight, and that is genuinely the difference between those guys in the top 5 and Nicholas. Like, he's lost a second and a half from not using his battery down the straight, despite having a purple Sector 1 time, and this is going to be like P7, P8, I think. I mean, I've smashed that there. P7, Nicholas, 1 second off the pace. Definitely a shot at pole if he can manage his sector times. Chris T is pretty much bang on with his previous best here, so we'll go watch his final sector. It looks like there's a kick just up ahead. Oh no, just behind actually, I think. Yeah, the kick is just behind. Sorry, I get a bit confused on the track map. There is an Aston Martin coming into the pits. That will be Lucky High One. Come on, Chris T. I believe Chris T is a past ALR champion. I might be mistaken, but he's been around the block for a while. Really smooth driver, and he improves up into P7. Is it Igor? Igor has invalidated. He was actually up on his time as well. I think that just said 0.05, but yeah, obviously invalidated at some point. Naked Champ just about to start his lap, so we'll go on board with Black Charizard, 7/10 up. Hello. This could threaten the top 5 depending on what his previous lap was, but again, no deployment. Battery management, guys, I'm telling you, we've got fun on that lap as well. He'll be looking to improve Massacrator with 33.8, and Black Charizard makes it a Red Bull 4th row on the grid. Naked Champ's 2/10 up on his previous best as well. I think we're going to stick along with Naked Champ. We've got El Truco also on a lap, but well, no, he's on an in lap. It looks like 6 seconds. Just got notified these were back. Yeah, they are Headless Snail. I'm not sure who you are, no offense, but we're back. Better than ever. We've got a really, really good active community right now in F1. We've got a massive community on GT. GT's thriving. We love GT. And ACC season is starting up soon, and obviously WRC as well. We run leagues on that game too, which is it's going well. Naked Champ, I think he's backed out of his lap here. He was going well, but yeah, not sure why he's backed out. Let's go on board with fun. I tell you what, T-Bop up in P6. He had a really good result last week, and he was actually my driver of the day. I'm pretty sure T-Bop. It came from absolutely nowhere. I do Truco. But yeah, came from absolutely nowhere to this is not a fast lap from Font. Oh wait, no, it might be. I thought he was going over the sector line there, but he's not. Dark, he's in P2. Come on, lad, challenge it. Sorry, I completely missed that. I was reading the comments and YouTube chat going off right now. Come on, Font. It's looking quick. Is it quick though? 33.6. He's gone and dunked like 3-4 temps on the rest of 3 temps on pretty much the rest of the field. This is what it is about Font. He's always downplaying his skills. He was saying that he's going to be struggling. AJ, 134.9. That's a really good lap from AJ. He's been sort of towards the back of the pack in the first few races, but it's looking like he's really coming into his own here. Chris T is doing good. Love to see that as well. T-Bop as well. Really, really good performance last week. My driver of the day up in P7 today. Dark Kiki is coming to the pits. Massacrator is 1/10 up on his time through the first sector. The battle is continuing. What's going to happen? Braking down, hits the apex very nicely. It does really feel like driving smooth is the way to get the most out of this car, as he is almost 2/10 up on his time. If he can gain a 10th on his previous lap through this final sector, then that will be enough to stick him on provisional pole. We've got 3 minutes left, so not too long until the end of the session. We'll probably see everyone coming out of the pits very shortly now. Massacrator across the line. He's used his deployment again and doesn't improve. P2 for Massacrator. That puts Font in firmly in P1. It looks like NTOB is on a lap. We'll go on board with him, and we've got Nicholas and Naked Champ also on out laps as well. Nicholas, who's one to keep an eye on. He's got really good pace. He just lost a second on the straight, which, yeah, battery management, guys. You want to be using your ERS where you're going to gain the most benefits. It looks like NTO is going to be sticking a lap somewhere around P13, P14 here. Just taking it smooth, obviously making sure he gets the car around, sets a nice banker for himself, because he hasn't come out into the pitch yet. Oh, it's a Squirrel we haven't seen yet either as well. That's another one who's been going solid. The McLarens are second in the standings in the constructors. He was lucky to not invalidate his lap there. NTOB, I say that an Arctic Squirrel is coming out now, so is Titchy Boom. They've heard me. They've answered my prayers. NTOB comes across in P16. Is Masquerade going for another lap, actually? I've just thought about that. He's not. He's 2 seconds down. So we will go on board with Nicholas. He's first out of these two. And then we'll skip to Naked Champ afterwards. And you know what? I think I'll go and take a look at Lucky High One next. Because if Lucky's on softs now, that might be one to look out for. Nicholas really on the limit there. You could see the wheel spin he got out of that corner with, I'm guessing, no traction control. Really nice lines. This is looking quick, but again, his battery, you need to pay attention to that. 4/10 up. That's a purple sector one. I don't think I've seen anyone get close to a 25-1. He's back in overtake though. You need to save this ALR, bro. Big difference if you can make this work. I think he's running pretty high wings here, Nicholas. Just because of the amount that he lost last time around, but he has saved his ERS this time. This is going to be one that's close to pole, I think. Let's see if he can get his braking point right around the 130 meter point. Oh, his rear end snapped out under braking there, and that's cost him a lot of time. He's still half a second up on his previous best though, but again, he just doesn't have the pace in that middle sector, which it's just a straight. Like, he must be running a lot higher wings than everyone else, but let's see what he can do around this little the end of the lap. You know, if he can get P6, P7, that kind of, oh no, Nicholas, that's not what you do. He was on course for P7, but Naked Champ 7/10 up through the first 2 sectors. He's got battery to play with as well. Could be another one going into that top 6, but it's not a great corner there. I feel like he's lost some time there, and it's going to put him into that battle for P7. Let's see what... I might turn up the sound. Lucky! 133.4! I told you he'd be one to look out for with the soft tyres. Who can I watch? I'm trying to see who is a good one to watch. It looks like Chris T, 1/10 up. Once we've seen Chris T, we can go on board with Halinan. I believe it is Igor up into P5. Chris T, how's he not invalid? Some of these track limits I'm a bit confused about, because it looks like some of these track limits should be invalidating laps, but they're just not doing it. So we'll watch Chris T across the finish, and then we'll go on board with Halinan and see how he's doing, because he's sort of the next guy that's up here with a little bit of a chance at getting pole position. Chris T up to P7. Really good lap there. Halinan's 5 tenths up. Do you know what? Depending on what his previous final sector was like, sorry. This is going to be P2, P3. Let's see. Can he finish out the lap? Well, he has done so. And it's pole position by 1/100th of a second over Lucky. Fontanu is our next guy. I can't see what his sector times are so far, unfortunately. But Halinan with a pole position to his name, the tier helper. Or can Fontanu undo all his good work? Let's see. He really makes the most of that exit, and it's 33.3 from Fontanu. 3/100ths of a second separating the top three. This tier, like, qualifying is absolutely mental. They were all going mental about Massacrator's times being incredible, and Massacrator is half a second off pole in P4. I think we're done. I don't think there's anyone who is left to go. So, yeah, let me just go and bring up fastest laps. So, yeah, we got 1:33.3 for Fontanu, 1:33.4 for Halinan and Lucky High One, 1:33.8 for Massacrator, 33.9 for Dark Kiki, the only other man in the 33s. 34 dead for Chris T. Really, really solid lap. We saw that one. Obviously, if anyone does want to tune in for does want to join, we do have an evaluation race tomorrow. Yeah, so Fontanu P1, Halinan, Lucky, Massacrator, Dark Kiki, Igor was the one with the 34 dead, apologies. Chris T, 1 second off the pace, with Naked Champ, T-Bop, Black Charizard and AJ rounding out the top 11. Nicholas in P12, Titchy Boom, El Truco, Fitz, Arctic Squirrel and NCOB, and Mighty Chump did not set a time, but it'll be interesting to see how he does. Obviously starting at the back, but he does have the advantage of being able to take it easy throughout sector 1, and yeah, maybe he'll be able to perform well. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, there's beef in the chat. Apparently people weren't too happy about qualifying from certain drivers, but it is what it is. Any predictions? Let's get predictions in the chat, and I will share mine on the formation lap. I think that's Halinan's first pole of the season. I don't remember who. Obviously, he missed the first race, but let me see. Can I bring up the standings? Not sure why this is taking so long, waiting for players. I'm guessing there's something they have to set. So yeah, Prezemu got the pole position in the first race. Fontanu pole position race 2, and now Halinan's had 3 different pole sitters in 3 races. Do I normally have something up here? I feel like I do. Yeah, I think I normally have that thing up there. So yeah, my predictions, I'm going to say Halinan is going to win this one. I feel like I've got to predict someone new, and I've been told Fontanu is coming P2, because my P2 jinx, Font says he can defeat it, so let's see if he can and actually get on the podium, despite me predicting him P2. And P3, I'm going to go for Dark Kiki. Do you know what? He's shown really good pace today. I don't really recall his pace in the first race, but he ended up in P8, so that's, yeah, something different, I think, is if I predict him to come P5. To come P3. I just want to keep things new, you know, not go for the same things every time. I think, obviously, we've got to look further down. I think Driver of the Day is another thing for everyone to fight for, but we'll see what happens. got some more predictions coming into the chat. We got Fontanu P1, Massa P2, Lucky P3. That's a solid prediction. Massa and Lucky, the two Aston Martins, have showed incredible pace. And to be honest, I'm disappointed in their results so far this season. I feel like they could be a lot better than where they are in the constructor standings. Obviously, Lucky did get a podium last week, so less so for him. But Massacrator P12, P8, showing the pace that he's shown all season is just inexcusable. But I'm sure he'll be looking to get his season kick-started today with a win. Dark Kiki is getting a new teammate because we've had someone drop. I think it'll be Nicholas. He'll have reacted to all 3 races and attended 2 of them. So Nicholas, we can pretend is in an Alpine because his points will go to the Alpine team if he gets a place. Eagle's disqualified though. I think he's going to have cold tyres. Let me actually set my audio settings up one, just whilst everyone gets themselves onto the grid. And yeah, be sure to hit the like button to show your support for the stream if you haven't already. Obviously, it's Jesus, that is loud. I have turned up my streets. But anyway, 5 red lights. Fontanu on mediums, Hallinan on mediums, Lucky also on mediums. I should have checked tyres. I will do it a bit later on. Lucky though with a really good start, or Hallinan with a really poor start, it seems, is more the case. I think we've got Lucky on the outside. Someone's spun already. Hallinan spun. So apparently it's the P1 curse now. And look at that view of the field coming through Sector 1. What a great sector it is at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. So yeah, Fontanu leads Massacrator, leads Lucky, Dark Kiki up to P4, Igor up to P5, Chris T P6. Hallinan with that little half spin is down in P10 from the pole sitter. Arctic Squirrel looks like he's had an incident. Same with NTOB, as those guys are well off the back. Let's go on board with Massacrator. He's had a really, really strong Sector 2 time all weekend. It looks like he's going to go for a move round the outside, defended well by Fun. And Massacrator just keeps turning into Fontanu, and their cars get locked and drags them both wide. As Massacrator has gone to Narnia there, and now Lucky is going to try and seize the opportunity, but he's just smashed his front ring. The front 5 are really pulling away from the field now. 1.2 second gap to Chris Teeth. So yeah, Fontanu P1, Massacrator P2, Lucky P3, Dark Kiki P4, and it's Igor down in P5, who Igor was like 90 seconds off the back of last place in Tier 1 every race so far, but he's right at the front here in Tier 2, just showing the difference we've got between the fields and how obviously you don't need to have the most pace to have an entertaining race, because these guys have incredible races week in, week out. Fontanu, Massacrator, Lucky, etc., all the way down to guys at the back. It's been a really bad start though for the McLaren team. Not sure what's happening with NTO. Is he okay? I think so. I think he was just sideways again. But yeah, McLaren's obviously second in the standings, all the way down in P14, P17. Can be dangerous for them. Mighty has had a pretty good start as well, as he's made his way up into P15, gaining 3 positions off the start of the race. Anyway, we're back onto the back straight. Look at that view. I love that when it sort of shows you looking all the way through. Massacrator going again. He's going for the outside again this time. It's a lot more alongside this time round. He's going to be entitled to some space this time. And Font leaves him room on the outside. Massacrator up to P1. Someone predicted Massacrator was getting P1 at the end of lap 1. He didn't, but it looks like he's gonna at the end of lap 2. Let's go on board with T-Bop as well, who has made the move past Chris T. That was one that I wanted to have a look at, but I wasn't able to get on board, unfortunately. Let's see what kind of gap he's got to the guys ahead. You know what, they're really starting to get away, aren't they? It's lovely just seeing the 5 cars neck and neck. Let's go back on board though, with the front guys, because there could be some moves made down into turn 1. They will get DRS, not this straight, but from now on. I've gone the wrong way. I tried to have a look at Font. I saw him having a look down the inside. Massacrator really leaves the door open there. Font doesn't go for the move though. First time I've been on board with the Alpine, I think all season actually. How's the sound, by the way, Blood? I've turned up the engine notes just a little bit. Just thought, I thought Kiki's completely making his own track there, completely off the track, and he was nowhere near making the corner. And he's got a 3-second time penalty already, which is pretty crazy. We'll see if these two Aston Martins can work together though. We've got Lucky and Masquerade, sorry, with Font in between them. Font in a bit of an Aston Martin sandwich. And it looks like Masquerade has really good straight line speed. As I say that, he's just completely sunk back NTOB speed in the pit lane. This was a complete sort of issue that we saw throughout Brazil, where everyone kept getting these 10-second penalties for speed in the pit lane, and it was really frustrating just sort of knowing what people could be doing without these penalties. But we've already got one, and I'm sure that won't be the last of the race. Masquerade doing well though, put in a little bit of a gap to Font. Font will get DRS here to help him defend from the Aston Martin behind, and Igor is hot on the heels, sorry, of the Alpine up ahead. Let's go on board. Terrible exit from Igor. It's not gonna happen, is it? Looks like no move there. Let's look back at Naked Champ. Nope, no one close enough this time round. Lucky was the one who got closest, but yeah, no move happening there. I mean, we've got two distinct battles here going on. We've got what, P1 to P5, all separated by a maximum half a second, and then we've got what, P6 down to P11, also all separated by less than half a second. Igor, is he going to make a move down? It's good to see him having a good race after just being on his own in Tier 1 the past few weeks. Might he jump with another move up into P13 from the back of the grid? Great drive from him so far. Can we see what tyres they're on? We'll have a look when they next go. John, we got to look at this. What's going on here? Hallinan and Naked Champ both getting past Black Charizard. Oh my, okay, that's a bit naughty from Black Charizard there. He was nowhere near being able to make that move, and he might have just caused Hallinan with some damage. Massacrator has been overtaken by Font as well whilst we've been watching this, but I tell you what, we wouldn't have seen that. Do you know what, we're going to have to go on board. I think they're side by side. They are side by side. Fontani on the inside, Massacrator on the outside, leaving a lot of room. Font dips back inside into the slipstream, and you know what? Lucky is here to pounce if anything happens here. This racing that we have in Tier 2 each week is absolutely insane. I'm sure the stewards will be investigating that Black Charizard dive bomb, if you can even call it that. It was more than a dive bomb, wasn't it? But we've got these 5 cars separated by 2.5 seconds. Less than that, actually. What, 0.7, 1.3? Yeah, we got 1.5 seconds separating 5 cars, as Fontanu is back in the lead of the race, 5 laps in. Massacrator and Lucky. Lucky just doesn't have the straight line speed. Everyone on mediums, all the way back to El Truco, who's on hards. You just don't have the straight line speed to make a move. Massacrator really got a big straight line speed setup here. I tell you what, T-Bop's still hanging in there, 2.5 seconds back. Pick up the damage, pick up the pieces if these guys battle too much. Lucky dipping out of DRS, but it's more side-by-side action from Massacrator and Fontani, and Massacrator half spin there as Font has just held the inside, and yeah, Massacrator's sort of turned in a little bit too soon, or Font's gone a little bit too wide. We didn't really have the best angle to watch it, but that does put Lucky on the back of Font. This is what I wanted to see, because Lucky hasn't had an opportunity where the guy ahead has no DRS. If I'm Massacrator here, stay behind Lucky, give Lucky a go down the main straight and see what he can do. Let's go on board with Lucky. He is gaining a lot here. Font's going to go inside again. Lucky's looking at the switchback. Not going to get it done. Let's see what what effect the dirty air has in this. Black Charizard does fit, so Black Charizard's got damage there. It looks like Hallinan's got damage as well. He dropped 3 seconds off the back of Chris T in the past 2 laps. Massacrator with a 3-second time penalty now. Right, Lucky is going to be the one. Do you know what? There's a chance these two could both get font here with Massacrator's straight line speed that he has. And Lucky having the slipstream, but it's a poor exit from Lucky, but I'm sure he'll get alongside still. It's a really long straight. Do you know what? Look at the inside, Lucky. Take the inside. Go on. Not even halfway down the straight and he's got it done. Massacrator is not going to be close enough. He's more focused on defending from Dark Kiki. Eagle's going to be one to pick up the pieces here. Do you know what? If these like carry on, getting penalties and stuff, Massacrator and Dark Kiki, then yeah, Eagle's going to be in really good. What's happened there? The font's gone deep. Massacrator's had to take a void in action, and Dark Kiki's got alongside him. But what's the yellow flag for? There's someone parked on track. Okay, he's getting going again at least, so he's going to have to let all these cars by though. Lucky's built a gap. Do you know, that's what I thought could happen. Lucky really got a setup built for the fast left-right corners. Massacrator the opposite, really got a setup built for the straight line speed sections of the track. And it means that Lucky can get away and get out of DRS. Dark Kiki just can't turn in there with all of that dirty air. I think he's just cut that corner again. He's going to be racking up the warnings. Just really want to think, sort of, you're in this queue, you just want to relax. Whoa, what was that? You just want to relax and sort of take your time and pick you and like make sure you're not getting penalties, because penalties aren't going to do you any good when you're in a situation like this. AJ makes his way up to P11. I do want to try and focus on some of the other grid, but it's just so hard when we have this battle every week in Tier 1. Font didn't have slipstream. Massacrator with a late lunge there. He does make the apex, and he lets Font back through. Font really barking on the apex now. Lots of oversteer. Not sure what the tyre wear's like here. Massacrator up the inside. He likes that move down into that corner. Really caught Font sleeping there, but again, he just doesn't have the exit on the traction on the exit because his setup is so straight line speed based. This battling though is going to be really good for the team in general, Aston Martin, as Lucky's building a little bit of a gap now. Another 3-second penalty for NTOB and also for Arctic Squirrel. Is that a safety car? We've got a safety car. Is Lucky going to beat it out? He's going to stick behind it. That's interesting. If I'm at the back here, I am pitting like 100%. Titchy Boom does come into the pits. If he can go hard to the end, this could be... how are you speeding on the safety car? I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it, because I can't believe it when people get penalties for things like that. Like, you've just a safety car. You're not gaining anything from speeding, you know. Like, all you're gonna do is catch to the back of the field, and it's ruined because you've gone and sped through. Titchy Boom, I'm sure, will be going to the end, and I tell you what, anyone that pits now is coming out behind these guys. Hard to end indeed, someone says in the chat. Yeah, these guys are going to catch up. They're going to be going quicker than the safety car. AJ is also hard to end, I'm assuming. Nicholas also hard to end. We saw Nicholas had really good pace as well. Black Charizard has been absolutely rescued with, what, repairing his front wing? I'm assuming he would have done. Yeah, he has. And he's just behind these guys as well. Fitz has gone on to mediums. I think hards is probably the pay. I don't think mediums will make it to the end. Obviously, I've got no idea what tyre wear's like. And Arctic Squirrel has also gone on to the medium tyres. But it does seem like pitting is the right decision. The only thing is, if you pit from the lead here, you're dropping down to what? P14? Probably P15 by the time they get through. So we'll see if they think it's worth it. But yeah, we've had a safety car every single race so far, and I don't really get why. there was a safety car that time round. Lucky does come into the pits. Font stays out. Massacrator is coming in. Oh, he's holding up the grid a little bit there, it looks like. I don't know why Font stayed out. El Truco is fair enough staying out, because he's on brand new hards. This is going to really drop Massacrator down, because he was so close to his teammate. And we'll go on board with Nicholas. Nicholas is coming in again. He's broken his wing. T-Bop's gone on to mediums. Is T-Bop predicting another safety car? But in effect, net lead of the race right now is Titchy Boom. We've got AJ in P4, Mighty Chump in P5. Effectively, they're the top three. Mighty Chump does have a penalty. I'm not sure what kind. He's got a 3 second. Charizard's got a drive through. Yeah, Mighty Chump's got a 3 second penalty. If I'm Charizard, I'm just making sure I have a clean outlap and then just getting into the pits as soon as possible, because you're stuck in traffic here. You're not going to be setting as good laps as you are in your own clean air, especially when DRS is not enabled straight away. But that's just like absolutely brutal to get one of them. So yeah, T-Bop, Halanan and Font are definitely going to have to pit. Trico is definitely going to have to pit. So those guys are going to be hoping for another safety car, I assume. I think the hards can go to the end. So it'll be interesting to see if they do that. Mighty Chump up 13 places from his qualifying ban. That's absolutely insane so far. Really good job. A lot of them places were moves on track as well, which was really good to see. So do you know what? It hasn't worked out too bad for Lucky. He's only down in P7. And obviously he has managed to get his tyres changed. Arctic Scroll is the only one we're going to have to wait for. I think the next Font's coming into the pits. I don't understand why you wouldn't have done it last time round, because that's going to drop him well behind his grid. It's the P2 curse. That's the only explanation. Font could not beat the P2 curse. Down in P16, there's still time to recover, but he'd have been P6, P7 if he would have pitted when he could. So we've got El Truco leading the race on what, 10 lap old hard tyres. And we've got Titchy Boom and AJ in P2 and P3. Might go on board with AJ for the start. I think it'll be a good place to sit and watch the chaos unfold. Hopefully this safety car comes in this lap, but Arctic's not really gaining much, is he? He's slowly gaining. I would have hoped it would have been a bit quicker. It looks like he should gain by the end of this lap, with how much Truco will probably slow down the grid and stuff. Yeah, there we go. Safety car is in this lap. So if you're Truco, you want to start slowing the grid down. Not too much. Don't do an Oscar Piastri. Just, yeah, take your time. Slow the grid down. And make sure you're ready to go for... once the safety car's in. So yeah, Titchy Boom is in the net lead. I'm going to go back third person and watch these guys. Black Charizard is going to have to go into the pits straight away, and obviously Lucky is the lead out of the guys who were at the top in qualifying. Safety car is in though, so we should see El Truco get going soon. Igor with a 3 second penalty underneath the safety car. Criminal. Can't be doing that. It's just literally just got to get round But yeah, here we go. Restart the race. El Truco leading Mighty Titchy Boom, sorry, and AJ looking for a little move there. Titchy goes a bit deep. Bit of oversteer, just third gear is just treacherous on this game. I've noticed that. Lucky's still stuck behind Charizard though. He makes the move as soon as I say that. So yeah, big one to get out of the way early as possible for Lucky High One. He'll obviously be looking to try and get as much gap as possible from himself to Igor and Massacrator, because he was... Do you know what? Massacrator's not lost too many positions. Considering he had to stack behind his teammate, he's done pretty well for himself. Fontanu with a 3-second time penalty. AJ going in deep, trying to get a slipstream, but it looks like it's worked out better for Titchy Boom. There's no DRS, I don't think. Yeah, no DRS just yet. So it's going to be a move. It's going to be one on track, and it is Lucky High One up into P4. Overtaking Mighty Boom, just taking the inside, saying that's my corner. Massacrator with another 3-second time penalty, going so deep. And he's down to P12. P11 he's managed to make his way back up to. Igor does get the move done on Black Charizard. That's a good one to get done. Black Charizard will have to come into the pits at the end of this lap. And now we got Lucky right on the back of AJ14. Like a lion following its prey. Look at that. Aston Martin driver hunting down a Ferrari. The Ferrari for the day anyway. Fontanu is back on the back of Dark Kicky. Massacrator I think has come into the pits, but we do have DRS enabled now. Well, not now. For the next straight once they get halfway round the lap. Oh, it's a bit clunky, but Lucky I think is going to get the move done. Oh, this will be a good one to watch. From Mighty Chum's perspective, Lucky does just get there ahead. Titchy Boom's actually made the move on El Truco. I wasn't paying attention. I'm so sorry. I was too busy watching Lucky. I didn't even notice that Titchy Boom got the move done on Truco. Speaking of getting moves done on Truco, Lucky, I think he might have just driven into the back. What a view of Truco there, but he will get DRS. Truco will not get DRS because he's already lost 2 seconds to Titchy Boom up ahead. Do you know what? He might be losing 2 positions here as Lucky and AJ are both in DRS range. Lucky round one side, AJ looking down the other. He's not going to get it done. It looks like AJ's got a really slow straight line speed set up here. He's really quick in the S's. Igor up to P7. Another man making moves early on. Lucky's already back. Oh my god, AJ. What a move. As I was saying, how he's quick in the slow speed corners. He gets a move done in Sector 3 on El Truco. Very opportunistic move there on the man who's yet to stop. Fontanu's up to P10. Him and Dark Kiki's working their way through the grid, but they do have Hallinan up ahead now. Won't be as easy to get that one done. Speaking of moves that won't be easy to get done, Lucky on the back of Titchy Boom. I don't think it's going to be done this time round. However, T-Bop and the train that is following, who's this, El Truco. Oh, Igor making the move. A bit of contact. Truco just doesn't get away at all from that corner. And Igor's just made 3 positions in one corner, I'm pretty sure. T-Bop's made 1. I don't know if Igor was ahead of T-Bop or not now, actually thinking about it. A Mighty Chump down in P. Oh, he's damaged his front wing. That's gutting. He had such a good start to this race. Damaged his front wing. And T-Bop is in the slipstream now. Lucky is also in the slipstream. And we've got Nicholas who's spun further down the grid. Alright. T-Bop pulls out left. And he gets the move done on El Truco. Dark Kiki is also coming through. And yeah, that is why we saw so many people pile into the pits, because El Truco has just lost 3 positions on one straight. No offense, but that is probably just a setup issue. For you to be losing 3 positions on one straight, and even Font's going for it again. A bit of contact there. I think Font's probably going to let Truco back pass because I think he's touched him. Yes, he does let him back pass. So yeah, sportsman thing to do there. Let's go on board with Lucky, who, if he can get a good exit, he might be getting this move done on Tichy. You know, we were saying earlier on that the McLarens were not performing, down in P15 and 17 at one point in time. Now they're leading the race. This is what they do, these McLarens. They work together and they somehow pluck out a result even when it doesn't look likely. Fontanu looking around the outside of El Truco gets it done over traction. Naked Champ also making a move on his teammate Mighty Champ. Safety car has opened things up a little bit. It looks like Lucky High One is going to be lining things up. Masquerade with another 3-second time penalty. He's going to be on about 15 seconds of time penalties already. Lucky looking for the cutback, taking a really sort of wide exit. And yeah, a wide entry, sorry, Shadow X. He doesn't need to go that far onto the marbles. You're just getting your tyres dirty. But he gets the move done, and he'll be looking to drive away from the grid now. What is going on back here? Where am I? That's where I need to be watching. Not that view, please. Oh, just any other view. Oh my god. Fitz is just... Truco, sorry. Has just gone really deep, I think, past everyone. Massacrator is now in P11. I'm sorry, it was too much information for my brain to handle. Naked Champ has lost his front wing, I think. I'm just hoping we can get rid of this view so I can actually see what's going on. He has. He's completely lost his wing. So that's where this train's coming from. And Hallinan is looking to make a move. So is Igor. Let's look at Igor first. I'm not sure why AJ's ghosting. Igor's just driven through him. Has AJ disconnected? Because he's just completely dropped off the pace and he was doing really well, AJ. And now he's ghosted. I think he might have disconnected. Because his car's still ghosted. Fontanu with another penalty. So yeah, right now we've got Lucky in P1. We got Titchy Boom in P2. We got Igor P3 on his debut in Tier 2 after dropping down from Tier 1 last week. This week, sorry. We got AJ in P4, which would be by far his best result, but I think he's disconnected because he's ghosted. Just based on the way he's shifting here, I think he has disconnected, unfortunately. He's lost 1.6 seconds, and yeah, it looks like he's disconnected, unfortunately. Hopefully we get him back in the lobby as soon as possible. Dark Kiki trying to get the move done on T Morrison. Mighty Chump has just messed up his... Oh no, 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. That's dodgy. What's he done? I don't know. And now we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think it's for Mighty Chump again, so... Not sure what's gone on there. Anyway, Dark Kiki is coming into the pits. He's on the soft compound tyre. That's why, and he's got 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. This, like, Igor making the move on Titchy Boom. Titchy Boom with a switchback. Just saw that at the top of the hill from the previous camera angle. Font has already made his way back up to P6, but he's got about 20 seconds worth of penalties. Igor is in P2. He's only got 3 seconds worth of penalties. So, yeah, not too bad compared to some of the rest of the guys. Sorry, I had a little bug on my hand. I don't know why. Don't know where that came from. Anyway, Titch Boom trying to get a good exit here. AJ is... I feel so gutted for AJ. He was doing really well. And he's disconnected. And now he's just sinking like a rock. Who are we on board with now? We're on board with Font. Right in T Morrison's slipstream. Hallinan, it's another safety car. What has brought out the safety car there? It's a VSC actually. Fontanu. Do you know what? It's the P2. It's the P2 jinx. Whoever I predict for P2 is just having a shit race. There's no other way of saying it. I think he's okay. I don't think he's damaged his wing. He's coming into the pits now. Massacrator drive. Why are people struggling so much with this? It's green flag as well, so we're back underway racing. Staying out was the right thing to do there. I think that's going to be costly for these four that have come into the pits. You've got to pay attention. You see VSC ending. Why are you back into the pits? If you're hard to go to the end, make them last. Chris T, DNF. That's what the VSC would have been for. So unfortunately, he was doing pretty well. He had a really good qualifying session today. Dark Kicky, 10 seconds speed in the pit lane. Dark Kicky rage quits because of his speed in the pit lane. It's just so disappointing to see such a good race ruined down a window. AJ disconnected up in P4. Fitzy up in P5. We love to see that. Do you know what? Lucky and Igor and Titchy Boom are looking good here. Fitzy is looking great as well on the medium tyres. I don't know if he'll make it to the end. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 because Dark Kicky's retired from session in the pits and his car's going to park it on the apex. Please don't bring out a safety car or anything, I swear to God. I think we're all good, but his car's still there on the track map. Black Charizard cannot get a move done. Massacrated defending from Haladan. Fontanu makes a move on El Truco just behind. Let me have a look at penalties, because that is going to be a big thing here for this race. We've got Massacrator and Font. It's always those two, isn't it? They're the two with the big penalties, as well as Mighty Chump, but Mighty Chump's a bit off the back of the field after his lost his front wing. T-Bop comes into the pits. I'm not sure why, but okay. We move on. No battles now. Fontanu is the closest one, up behind Arctic Squirrel. Looks like he's going to get that move done there with a switchback. Just so much better traction than Arctic Squirrel. I think Arctic Squirrel getting bogged down with the full traction. I think that's probably the most likely explanation there. And Naked Champ as well. I don't think we've been on board with him much. He's also looking at a move. But we can watch Massacrator first, who is within the DRS of Black Charizard, who I wouldn't be surprised if he gets submitted to the stewards after the move we saw earlier today. These three, these two Massacrator, Massacrator, Helen and Fontanu, I think will be continuing to make some progress throughout the field. Massacrator does get up to P6 there. Yeah, Black Charizard just sort of accepting his fate there, it seems like. Naked Champ and El Truco, I said these guys will be close by the end of the lap, and Arctic Squirrel's up in P... Oh, no, Arctic Squirrel was up in P10. Has he lost his front wing? Because he was just... Oh, maybe he's had a half spin or something. Thank you and good night. Oh, what happened, Chris? You're doing so well in quali, and then... Yeah, just DNF'd out of nowhere. I didn't see what happened. Arctic Squirrel passed by El Truco though. Fontanu setting the fastest lap of the race to absolutely no one's surprise. Just spun. Oh, got it. Naked Champ looking for a move. Gets it done. I think he'll be looking for the move on El Truco soon, as Halinan is getting past from Font. This is a big battle here. These two are sort of top of the grid pace, but Font is on the softer compound. Halinan's gone onto the hard tyres. Font is on the mediums. So yeah, you can see the grip he has right now out of these corners. Tell you what, I wouldn't be sticking my nose in that gap if I was leading a title, but he does, and gets clobbered as a result of it. Yeah, Halinan's going to get the move done on Black Charizard. Up into P6, and Font is going to follow him through, and I'm sure we'll see Font make the move on Hallinan in the coming laps, as we also have Truco getting passed by Naked Champ. And as I was saying, here he goes. Font going for this move again. He's really strong on this section of the track. Needs to be leaving room on the inside. He does this time. And I think he'll get the move done with this inside run all the way through. Cut the corner a little bit there. He might got another warning, which is not what he wants to be doing. Because Hallinan, if you can stick with Font here, you know Font's got 6 seconds of penalties. I'm sure you can stay within 6 seconds in the final 8 laps. AJ's built a bit of a gap here to Massacrator, doing really well for himself. Up in P4, leading Ferrari car. I don't think anyone was predicting that. He's actually closing on Titchy Boom as well, which is good to see. But yeah, Igor 4 seconds behind. Lucky high one. Titchy Boom. Tell you what, McLarens are just inevitable. I don't know what it is. These guys are just stunning. Their ability to just get results out of nowhere is second to none. As we've seen Titchy Boom get P5 in the opening round, P4 in round 2, and now on course for a P3 if he can make his tyres last to the end. I'm sure these tyres will be absolutely screaming by the end of the race, because he'd have been on these tyres for a long time. 12 laps on these tyres. He's going to have to do 20 laps on these tyres. Hallinan is still sticking with Font, which is all he's got to do. He'll get 2 positions on these guys if he can stay this close to them. Alright, let's look at the gap between AJ and Massacrator at the end of this lap, because AJ has been on these tyres for a long time. As AJ crosses the line now, it's 14.4 seconds, the gap between Massacrator and AJ. And we've got 8 laps to go, including this one. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of deficit Massacrator and AJ have. Because obviously these guys are on fresh tyres. AJ is on 20 or 15 lap old hard tyres. So yeah. Font is looking at the move on his rival, Massacrator. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get one done though. Font has also broken the DRS of Hallinan as well, so that's another one to think of. But yeah, if I'm Hallinan, I'm just playing it chill, making sure you get that P5, especially with Fontanu now on 9 seconds of penalty. So this is for position. There's no holding back now for Fontanu. These guys have both got 9 seconds, of penalties, and that brings back Charizard into the mix. If they can't pull away even further, that is. Fun. Looking to the inside. I think we've also got Massacrator on hard tyres, so it's just Font on mediums. Everyone else has gone for the harder compound. Igor with another time penalty, but that's not going to be a problem for him. He's far enough ahead of Titchy Boom for it to not be a problem. Massacrator with another 3-second time penalty. That's going to be a problem. And I tell you what, Font is going to get AJ on track, but because of his 9 seconds, he's going to finish behind, because it was 14.4 seconds. He's gained 2.5 seconds on this lap. Massacrator into the pits. Not sure why. Who's got the fastest lap right now? Fontana does, of course he does. I mean, look at that. He's 3 seconds quicker a lap than AJ's best. And he's 15 seconds behind AJ, which just shows it's like consistency makes a hell of a difference. I think Font will get AJ by the end of the race, but we'll see if AJ can hold on with the penalty situation. Black Charizard is back in the DRS of Naked Champ. Yep, AJ has just got disconnected. Is there a way to invite him back? I've just let him know. Nicholas is making the move up to P9. Sorry, I just thought I'd let AJ know, because of the people in the chat that want to see him do well. Truco has just broken his front wing on the back of Nicholas. But yeah, Nicholas up into points. That's I think he's taken over the full-time seat of Alpine from Scalesy potentially. So that's a good result for him and for his team. Just 9 seconds now separate Font and AJ. Obviously, Font is going to drop behind with the penalties, but Hallinan is the one that I think could maybe get P4 if he keeps going at this rate. Massacrator just behind, getting up to P11. Also, with 12 seconds worth of penalties, the collisions are so dramatic on this game. Little tap, and you see paintwork go flying absolutely everywhere. What a view. Helicopter cam as Massacrator is just absolutely rear-ended El Truco there. Just not paying attention to the fact that these guys are on 15-lap old hard tyres, and he's on fresh softs. I'm really hoping Mighty Chump isn't retiring in the pits here because of that yellow flag. It just makes me concerned that he might be on pause. But yeah, El Truco passed by Massacrator, tries the switchback and gets too trigger happy on the throttle, and Massacrator gets the move done. T-Bop also with an opportunity to get the move done, but it looks like Truco's got them wings. No, he doesn't. He must have just been using battery because T-Bop, just gets the car slowed down. That was touch and go for a moment there. It's a really good move in the end, but Truco's fighting back again. Little bit tires tapped and there's like paint splattered absolutely everywhere. Really good driving between these two. Truco on the better compound, T-Bop on the fresher tires, I believe. Gets moved down up to P11. Obviously, net P10 with Massacrator's penalties. Speaking of Massacrator, looking for a move on Nicholas. If I'm Nicholas, I just let him go. You know Massacrator's got 57 seconds worth of penalties. You know you're going to get past him by the end. Even on these soft tyres, you back yourself surely to not lose more than 2 seconds per lap. And you know what, the DRS could be helpful in defending from T-Bop behind you. We've got a yellow flag as Hallinan has spun. No, it's Mighty Chump letting cars through. Just going a bit too slow, letting cars through. And it's bringing out yellow flags. Yeah. He's off on his way now, though. So yeah, we got Igor 6 seconds back. Titchy Boom just dropping like crazy off the back of these guys. But I'm hoping Titchy can hold on for a podium here. That will be such an incredible result. And it would have to be my driver of the day if he can do so. We got AJ in P4. He did disconnect a couple of laps ago. But obviously he was up here in merit. And it would be so good to see if his AI can hold out for him. He's not driving as fast as he was, unfortunately. I think he was really putting pressure on Titchy Boom. And he was ahead of Titchy Boom up until he disconnected. But even then, still P4 would be a great result for him. Fontanu down in P5, sliding his way around the corner. That P5 is looking like P6, let's face it, with his 9 seconds of penalties. But still, it would be a good result, you know. The only one of his title rivals who is gaining on him would be Lucky Highone. And that's the thing with Font. He's got such a lead in the championship. Results like P6 are going to be very useful for him, you know, especially when his rivals, Hallinan is a good driver. Igor looking like he has the pace to compete with the top guys in Tier 1. Dark Kiki with his DNF, you know, he's gaining on most of these guys apart from Lucky, and Igor's too far back anyway to make a difference at this point in time. Who can we go on board with? I would say Nicholas, but Nicholas is a bit too far. Let's go and give some time to my T-Chump. Hasn't had much airtime today. He was doing really well up until the first safety car. I think he stuck soft tyres on, I'm guessing, to try and get the fastest lap of the race. In which case, go on, let's go do it. That would be really good to see if he can. we're going to go on board with Arctic instead. I think he's just a bit far back, and we're going to have to go on board with Font soon, because Font is really gaining up to the back of AJ as the time ticks away. What are we saying for tyres? 17 lap old tyres now for the top 4. 19 lap old tyres for Black Charizard. I think he had a drive-through, which is why he's so far back, because he would be up in that top 4. I think that is really the strategy. Just stick hard on and go to the end and try to save your tyres as much as you can. It's what you have to do, you know. And unfortunately, Black Charizard sped under the safety car. I just don't understand how it's so common. And I don't mean to come across bad, but you've got one job under a safety car. Under a VSC, you just need to keep that delta positive. Like, you're playing with fire and you're going to get burnt if you mess about with it. But yeah, that's a bit of screen time for Arctic Squirrel. Bit of screen time for Lucky High One as well, who is literally just taking his time, just keeping it smooth, keeping the penalties off the card. And that's all he needs to do here. He's literally got time for... I mean, if he was to pit, he would probably get P2. So just, yeah, keep it easy. Drive as slow as you need to get this car across the line. And anyway, we can go on board with Font, probably. Will be the next car who is going to get the move done on AJ, obviously disconnected. But AJ needs an invite. I don't think I can invite him. No, I can't. I've told him he can have me if he wants. Might be too late though. But yeah, Font is going to get the move done on AJ right now. Massacrator as well is up on the back of... Who's he on the back of? He's on the back of Charizard. Yeah, that's the thing though. When it is an AA car, you can just drive through them. And that's Font up to P4 on track for now. Massacrator also getting a move done on Black Charizard. There are two off-track rivals. I can't say on-track rivals because it's not really a contest in terms of the points on the board. But yeah, they've been having some heated words in the chats, and it looks like Font is going to come out on top again. However, Lucky High One up in P1 with a fantastic performance today. Hasn't put a foot wrong, really chose the best strategy. Hallinan does get up ahead of AJ, so it looks like he's going to be P5 for AJ as we have just 2 laps to go. And Lucky High One is going to come across onto the final lap of the race. So we're going to go on board with him. There's no other battles on track. There is one battle on track. Let's watch Nicholas, see if he can get the move done. He can. Charizard obviously on 30 lap old, 20 lap old hard tyres. So yeah, Nicholas is going to keep that position. However, Lucky High One, let's go on board. Let's just relax and let's give this man the view he deserves. He's played strategy absolutely perfectly. He started, what was it, P2, P3, around there. Took his time to get past Font, and as soon as he did get past Font, he drove away. Obviously, he dropped down to P5, P6 in the safety car period, but he's made the correct call to switch onto the hard tyres, which look absolutely shocking. You can see they're like bumping as he's driving. That's how worn they are. But yeah, made the correct decision to switch, and there's no one in sight. We might see Igor in the distance. We do, just before the camera goes off the screen. However, it is fully deserved from Lucky High One if he does come home in this final sector and get the 25 points that he deserves. Like, there's no other way to say it. He's been absolutely incredible today. Huge performance, someone says in the chat, which definitely is the case. And here he is, one more corner to go for Lucky High One to get his first victory of the season. I believe his first victory in ALR. I might be completely wrong with that. Comes across the line. Massacrator with another 3-second time penalty. Would it be Massacrator if we don't see him getting a 3-second time penalty? Probably not. Igor in P2. Titchy Boom is just going to hold on. He's going to get the podium position. P5 in round 1. P4 in round 2. And P3 in round 3 at Coulter, Texas. Titchy Boom, just like hats off, man. What a performance. Fontanu comes home in P4, but awful track limit. What's the word? Track limit, like discipline from him. Drops into P6. Hanlan P4, AJ P5, Naked Champ almost getting P6 off Fontanu. Masquerade is going to come in P8, but he's going to drop as well. Nicholas gets P8. Black Charizard gets P9. El Truco is... I think he's going to be too far back. I think Masquerade's got 12 seconds of penalties, but if he has 15, this is going to be so close. He did have 12 seconds. El Truco P11. Masquerade does get points. Back-to-back points for him. T-Bop in P12. Fitz is going to be in P13. Could that position changes? Titchy Boom, my driver of the day. What do I want? I want to look at fastest laps. Look at that font with a 1:36.5. No one else in the 36s. Next closest is a 37.4, which 2 drivers managed. It just goes to show the pace that he had. Arctic Drill is going to come home a bit lower down, but I tell you what, McLaren are going to take the lead of the constructor standings with that. Titchy Boom podium. And Font getting P6. Like, yeah, McLaren are going to overtake Ferrari. Lucky High One, though, deserved champion. Obviously, Igor P2, first race down in Tier 2, really just didn't put a foot wrong, did he? Just didn't, well, he did get 2 penalties, but apart from that, he did really well. And Titchy Boom, someone's asked who is driver of the day. It's Titchy Boom. It's Titchy Boom in game, and I'm also giving it to Titchy Boom. I think that's the first time I've agreed with what the game has said, but yeah, it's got to be Titchy Boom. Fantastic performance. P13 to P3. I'm not sure if there's a driver of the day award. I don't remember who I gave driver of the day to in the first round. I think I gave it to Luke. I gave T Morrison in the second round, and now Titchy Boom in round 3 with his medium hard. 7 laps on mediums, and then he's gone all the way to the end. Yeah, AJ also did the same. Titchy Boom did the same, and Lucky High One did it a lap later. So yeah, thank you for everyone for tuning in. As I said, McLaren will take the lead of the constructor standings. Make sure to tune in next week. Where are we next week? I should probably check that, shouldn't I? Next week we're at Silverstone. That'll be a big one. Don't miss out.